Hi, I'm Christian Espinoza with Alpine Security. I'm here with Isaac Wright. He's one of our trainers, and this is part of our Get to Know Your Trainer series. Today's featured trainer, as I just mentioned, is Isaac Wright. So Isaac, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe your experience with IT, cybersecurity, a little bit about some of the courses you do, and maybe some of your hobbies and interests?
Sure. Yeah, so as Christian said, my name is Isaac, and I am a trainer here at Alpine Security. I'm also a cybersecurity analyst. For the past 16 or 17 years, I've been working in various IT roles. I started out as an electronics technician working on radio systems. I moved from there into more IT management related roles. I've worked help desks and call center type functions. And over time, I started really watching the development of this industry called cybersecurity, and it really piqued my interest. I've always been an IT person, but I really just got excited about the ideas of, this as a focus, because, IT has always been IT. It's not, there's nothing really new there, but the idea that we have to protect these systems and that that's its own focus really interested me.
Yeah.
So over the last couple of years, I started transitioning myself into more of a security focus, and then I've had the opportunity to teach here at Alpine. I predominantly teach Security Plus and CISSP when I'm not fulfilling my roles as a cybersecurity analyst.
Okay. Now, what about your hobbies? Do you have any interesting hobbies?
I have a lot of hobbies.
Okay.
I guess my, other than raising kids, which I don't know if that counts as a hobby, but I like to garden. I'm hoping to start a farm at some point in the future.
Okay.
And then I like to read and occasionally play a video game if I have some free time.
All right, cool. You mentioned you teach Security Plus and CISSP for us. I know you do those. Do you have a favorite out of those two?
I actually like CISSP better than Security Plus.
Okay.
I find that usually the CISSP audience has a lot of experience that they bring to the classroom, and so I really enjoy having engaging conversations with the students about experiences they've had, in their career, and then it gives me an opportunity to learn from them as well. And it can be interesting, and it's challenging subject matter, and so I find that people are a little bit nervous about it, and I just enjoy the opportunity to help people really knock out a milestone in their career. So it's a great sensation to have the opportunity to help people find out that this test is just a test and that they can pass it, and that that's
sure.
Cool.
Okay. What I guess why should someone take a course with you?
I am tenacious and
tenacious.
Yeah.
Is it a good thing?
It can be. Okay. I don't just regurgitate information.
Okay.
My goal is always, if a student asks me a question, I may be up late that night trying to get to the bottom of it. If it's something that I don't know, I don't like to just, throw out information. I like to really wholeheartedly know that information.
Okay.
So I spend a lot of time when I'm not in the classroom going over my training materials and making sure that I know what I'm talking about. And which is not to say that every teacher out there doesn't do that, but I really take a personal passion in knowing my stuff. So you're not going to get just regurgitated information from me. You're going to get the absolute best level of quality information that you can get.
You said you're tenacious, which you've defined as making sure you can deliver quality instruction and not just being able to regurgitate like what's in the book. Why is it important to you to not just regurgitate what's in the book? It seems like a lot of instructors, and at least through my career, they've basically sort of memorized what's in the book and being able to deliver what's in the book, but if it's not on the slide or in the book, they struggle quite a bit. So why is it important for you to know what a lot of stuff outside the book, so you're not just regurgitating, as you put it, what's in the book?
There's a lot of reasons. I have a lot of students, especially for Security Plus, who they're trying to get that Security Plus so that they can get the interview at the job that they're wanting to get to break their way into the industry.
Yeah.
And so, while it's beneficial for me to help that student obtain the degree, the certificate Security Plus, what's even better is if that student can look good on that interview or can speak the language of Security Plus.
Yeah.
So I I think that you should definitely care more about your career than anybody else. But I'm going to be second to that if I'm the instructor in the classroom. My goal is to help people reach their goals. But it's not just about passing a test at the end of the day. It's about actually knowing the information and being able to apply it out there in the world. And then I would say the second part of that is, talking about applying it out there in the world. I'm passionate about cybersecurity as as an ideology. We're in a very chaotic time right now when it comes to technology, and I don't think a lot of people realize how much we are still living in the Wild West when it comes to internet connected technologies and security vulnerabilities and weaknesses. It seems like every day we see another data breach, another HIPAA violation, and all these things. So, if I can do anything in any small way to make somebody's life more secure, then that's my goal. And so putting those professionals out there in the industry who really understand security and not just the ideas behind security, but actually can implement it in the workforce, I think is a big challenge for the entire industry right now. And I just want to be a part of it.
I like what you said there. It seems like a lot of people that take Security Plus, and maybe I'm wrong, I haven't taught in a while. It seems like they just want to get certified and don't really care too much about the industry. Is that your experience?
I think a lot of people who are at that level in their career really don't know a lot about the industry. I'm a perfect example about that. I've worked in IT for 16 years. I just got my Security Plus, a few years ago. Yeah. And it really opened up my eyes that, although I had been working, with security roles, off and on my entire career, I never really thought about security just as its own focus. And it made me start to think, if I don't know this, or I don't realize, a lot of these, security as a focus is so important, then probably your average person entering the profession doesn't really. So maybe it's true that people approach the idea of becoming a cybersecurity professional just looking to, pass the exam and get the job. But I think once they get into the field and they realize how chaotic it is and how big of an impact even just one person in the right position can have, I think that they will probably start to care more about it. Okay.
So you feel like people, when they see like the role they can play to help, they'll actually care.
Absolutely.
Develop a capacity for caring about cybersecurity.
Right.
Because right now, when they first enter like Security Plus, they may not really know what it's all about.
Yeah, and they may not even realize that they may actually make a big difference to even to the organization that they're going to work for. They may think, hey, I'm just going to work for this organization to get a paycheck. But what they may come to realize is that small bit of security knowledge that they bring to that organization may be the difference between a data breach and not having a data breach. And once they actually get in there and start doing the work, they may actually start realizing how important what they do actually is.
If you were to describe like something unique that separates you from other trainers, let's say your unique ability you bring to the classroom, what would you say that is?
I definitely have a lot of empathy for the students. I remember exactly what it's like to sit there and hear a lot of this information for the first time. And so I try to make it as entertaining and interesting as it possibly can be. And I'm always trying to ask myself, am I saying this in a way that someone else can understand? So, I would say I'm pretty empathetic as an instructor, and as far as keeping it fun, I crack jokes. I'm not above, picking on people or, making things interesting. I want to keep the students engaged any way that I can.
Okay, that's good. And I was just thinking back several years ago. I think I was the one that taught your Security Plus class when you were a student back then. And I tried to make the class dynamic, interesting as well. So, yeah. I resort to cat videos and sometimes though. So hopefully your humor is a little bit better than mine. But
I don't know. Those are pretty good videos.
They are. The Little Bug videos and Grumpy Cat. Grumpy Cat died, by the way.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah. I have a couple more questions and then we'll wrap it up here. So why did you decide to get into training? What made you decide to be a trainer? I guess is a better way of phrasing the question.
It's a good question. It's always been an aspiration of mine to teach at some level. So, you know, and before I started teaching cybersecurity, I had quite a bit of training experience in other roles. Mm-hmm. I really enjoy, you know, I feel like I can do a job and I want to do a job, you know, but at the same time, you know, it's like I can also grow this career field. So it's like a little part of me, you know, not to be sappy, but a little part of me goes out there into the career field every time I put another Security Plus or another CISSP or another, you know, whatever that role may be. Yeah. So I feel like it's, you know, it's a measure of my success to a certain extent to see other people succeed. I really, you know, I talked about being empathetic. It really means a lot to me to see students, you know, who come here and they don't really know what this is about, and to walk them through that process from, I don't know anything about, you know, Security Plus, to getting that email from them a few weeks later saying I passed the test my first time up. That means a lot to me. And I, you know, so I wouldn't trade that. You know, I wouldn't want to not be involved in that. I think it's a great opportunity for me as much as it is. I hope, you know, it's something that I do that benefits other people as well.
Okay, awesome. So we get a lot of requests. People are like, you know, why should I take a course that's in person, you know, when I could just go to Cybrary or some other site online and take a pre-recorded course? Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on that, or do you have any thoughts?
Well, there's certainly nothing wrong with going online and using the resources that are available mm-hmm. to you. So I wouldn't steer anybody away from that. But I'll say, you know, when you have a question and you want to talk to a real live person, there's really there is no substitute for sitting in an actual classroom. And I think there's tons of college students out there that would agree with me that, you know, you look at your college classes and a lot of people love to do a lot of, you know, maybe online classes, mm-hmm. but a lot of people really need that face-to-face interaction and to hear somebody talk, to get the reinforcement, to re-emphasize points, and one of the things I can do that a video can't do is I can tell by the look on your face whether or not you just digested the information that I gave you. Mm-hmm. And so I can pick up, you know what, you didn't quite pick that up. Let me try to say it a different way, or let me ask you a question to see if you got it. And so certainly nothing wrong with using those other resources that are out there, but there's no substitute for the classroom environment.
That's a good point about being able to read the people in the course, and that's not an ability with a pre-recorded. I never thought about it from that perspective. Good. One other question. I noticed you wear this thing on your wrist. Does that have a, if you don't mind me asking, it's a personal question.
Yeah, I can ask.
Does that have a significance, or what?
These are like Buddhist meditation beads. I'm a Buddhist, so they so like you can use them for a lot of different things. I use them to when I'm nervous or having as a fidget with. Yeah. But the other, what you can use them for is like to inhale, exhale. So you like inhale, and then click and exhale.
Really?
Yeah. So.
Okay, so it kind of helps with your mindfulness in a way.
Yeah, okay. It helps me, you know, it's a good opportunity before class or before I do something that I'm nervous about. And I just sit down and, you know, do a little bit of peaceful breathing and, you know, set myself up to be ready to, you know, to get out there and be successful.
All right, awesome. Well, thanks for your time, Isaac. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. For the experience first, then we'll go down.
All right. So, like you said, my name's Christian. I'm a trainer here at Alpine Security. Did I just say my name? Cut.
Hi, I'm Christian. What?
I can't believe I did that. All
That's
right.
Okay. So,
go ahead.
Kind of like the wild wide west.
The Wild West.
Well, not wide. The Wild West. Yeah.
You thinking Wide Earth, maybe?
I don't know. I grew up in Arkansas, so I can blame my speech issues with Arkansas.